Hello! Today I want to take the time to show appreciation to a medical university that goes above and beyond for their patients. In 2022, they performed 140 kidney transplants, and with those, they had a 100% success rate within the first year. They made the process of getting a kidney transplant easier to understand and what seemed to be easier to get on the list for organ donation. The university helped Isom hit his weight goals, and they helped him stay on track with the counseling they gave their patients pre-surgery. In a time where we had to be isolated, the staff was above and beyond for Isom. The University of Chicago gave Isom, my fiance, a second chance at life. After 3 years of working to lose weight, Isom finally qualified to receive a kidney transplant. So the test began to get started to get his name on the list. After some denial from some universities, we were finally down to just the University of Chicago. It seemed like we were becoming between a hard place and a rock. The University of Chicago made the process easier as they took tests from the other universities and used them versus having them start all over. The only test they had to reperform was the blood work and tissue test to make sure it was compatible for a kidney transplant. After tests had been ran to ensure his heart could handle the surgery, they started the process of doing a tissue test and a blood test so they could find a possible match. They explained what that meant. That means they would take a sample of the tissue and put it in a petri dish, and a sample of the other tissue from the donor and put it in a petri dish, and see how well they interacted with each other. As long as the tissue did not fight each other, then we were good to go, and then it was considered a match. There were other parts that they covered with Isom as well. They educated on him how to eat before and after kidney transplant, and how important it is to take his medicine in the morning and in the night. Isom was on dialysis for around a year and a half, and it was really starting to take a toll on him. The craziest thing happened, though. Isom was talking about how he just couldn't handle it no more. It was getting to him, and all he wanted to do was sleep. He was feeling like he was done and was tired of not being able to live and only in survival mode. You could literally see the life draining from him as each day passed, and it would get to the point all he wanted to do was sleep. It was like fate. 30 minutes later, we got the call. Isom was on standby for a kidney transplant. They had to run the compatibility test to ensure that the body wouldn't reject the kidney. About 18 hours later, we received the call. The one that Isom said needed to get to the University of Chicago right away. It was Thanksgiving, 2020. And as you know, that was a time of COVID, meaning COVID precautions, meaning no visitors in the hospital. This made Isom very nervous. And going into the surgery, he knew that he was going to be alone and not with his family at all. But the staff, they went above and beyond for Isom. They talked to him about their success rate, and the doctor that was performing the surgery even came in and told him of his success rate and comforted him. Everything would be okay. The staff gathered around him and supported him and gave him comfort while his family could not. Surgery that took around 5 hours. They updated us about once an hour. And we never felt like we were out of the loop. After waking from surgery, Isom said he panicked when they wrote in a dialysis machine. He thought that meant that the kidney didn't take. The nurses quickly reassured him that that wasn't the case. It was just meant that his potassium was high, and this was the fastest way to get it down. They had a dietitian also come in and explain how certain foods would interact with his new kidney and what to avoid and what he needed. They also told him not to make sure he took any supplements like vitamin C to boost your immune system because it would fight off his kidney and actually hurt him versus help him. The staff went above and beyond. They reassured Isom that he would be okay, and besides that amazing success rate, they also had compassion for their patients. Because of the instructions they gave us, we've been following and continue to go into all appointments. This is why Isom is approaching now his 4th year after kidney transplant. All thanks to the person who decided to donate an organ and to the University of Chicago for the amazing care they gave my fiance. So thank you to the University of Chicago for giving Isom a second chance at life, and being the caring, dedicated staff and being there for Isom when his family could not. And this kind of dedication and compassion is the time of care I'd hope that anyone could receive in their time of need. the staff that goes above and beyond their ordinary duties.